A student asked his sensei to help him develop a strong mindset. The sensei placed an empty glass jar in front of him. "This jar represents a day in your life," said the sensei. The sensei then filled the jar with rocks. The sensei asked his student, "Has the jar been filled up?" The student replied with a confident yes. The sensei then filled the jar with stones. The stones filled up all the tiny spaces in between the rocks. The sensei again asked his student, "Has it been filled up?" The student replied with another confident yes. After that, the sensei poured sand into the jar. The sand particles occupied all the gaps the stones and the rocks could not fill up. "How about now? Has the jar been filled up?" The student paused for a moment and replied, "Yes, surely nothing else can be added, right?" The sensei then poured some water into the jar. The water started filling up the very tiny gaps the sand particles could not fill up. "Now the jar has been filled," the sensei said. The student was impressed, but he thought to himself, what does this have to do with mindset? It was as if the sensei had read his mind and informed him, "This glass jar represents a day in your life. These rocks represent the essential things in your life, your family, your health, and finding your true purpose in life are your rocks. Always prioritize with these when planning your day. These stones are the important but not essential tasks in your day. These need to be done, but they are not superior to your essential tasks. Finally, the sand symbolizes the small things in life. These should only be done if you get a chance. They are not a priority, and if you miss them out, there is nothing to worry about, as they are, after all, the small things." The student was very inspired and asked, "What does the water symbolize?" The sensei replied, "It does not matter how full up our day may appear. There is always time for quality sleep. Sleep replenishes the mind and the body. We may think we have less time in a day as a result of sleep. However, high-quality sleep allows you to think more clearly and get more done whilst you are awake." The sensei then emptied the glass jar. He placed the water into the glass jar first this time until it reached the top. After that, he started placing the rocks into the jar. Due to the lack of space, the water started to spill from the jar. The sensei then said, "This overflowing represents stress, worry, anxiety, and panic. This happens when we prioritize the less essential tasks over the essential tasks during the day. When we fail to place the rocks in our day first, there will be no time for it later on. As you can see, effective time management is a skill which helps keep the mind stable." A similar story to this has been mentioned by Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The link for the book is in the description. One of the habits mentioned by Covey is put first things first. In other words, ask yourself, what exactly do you want to achieve in life? Once you define exactly what you want, begin your day with an activity in line with that goal, as opposed to grabbing your phone first thing in the morning and consuming social media. Another habit mentioned by Covey is, begin with the end in mind. Ask yourself this question, by the end of the day, or even the end of your life, what do you want to look back on and cherish? Let's be honest, at the end of the day, you will not regret missing out on the latest social media post. In addition, at the end of your life, you will not regret how big or small the number on your bank statement is. Time management and mindset go hand in hand, because if you put first things first and begin with the end in mind, you will have greater clarity within your mind. With a clear mind, you will maintain your sanity and you are less likely to be depressed or anxious. As the sensei mentioned to the student, the rocks are our family, health, and searching or fulfilling our true purpose in life. The question is, what are the stones and sand in our life? That is up to you to decide. You know your life better than anyone else. It may also require trial and error before you determine your stones and sand in life. Either way, the rocks always come first. And remember, place the rocks in your jar first before you add the stones, sand, and water.